Tidbits from TNT, Thursday morning, the 7th of November 2024. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. TNT. Tishwash. National Investment. Iraq is heading towards a big marathon. Chairman of the National Investment Commission, Haider Makaya, confirmed that Iraq is heading towards a major investment marathon for many projects, while he pointed out that funding from international institutions reduces the burden on the Ministry of Finance by granting loans for investment projects. Makaya said, "We found many economic visions in the first edition of the Iraq Economic Forum," noting that the issue of the possibility of benefiting from the financing of international institutions known to the central bank was raised in order to ease the burden on the Ministry of Finance to grant loans and facilities to local investment projects or even foreign projects. He added, "It is necessary to seek external funding to finance investment projects, especially since Iraq is about to embark on a major investment marathon for many investment projects inside Iraq." Tishwash. Al-Sudani. The Grand Fao port is a step towards a new Iraq in the heart of the global economy. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani stressed, during his visit to the Grand Fao port in Basra Governorate, that the port represents a step towards a new Iraq in the heart of the global economy. Al-Sudani announced in a speech during the ceremony of receiving the 5 berths of the Grand Fao port from the Korean company implementing the work, describing them as the backbone of the Grand Fao project. Al-Sudani pointed out that development and economic transformation are an integrated approach, stressing that Iraq was and still is a fundamental pillar in the global economy, and that the path of development will be an artery linking most countries in the region. Al-Sudani also stressed that the government's approach revolves around insisting on the interests of the Iraqi people, with a focus on prosperity, providing job opportunities, and development windows as our work priorities. Tishwash. Central Bank of Iraq celebrates National Job Day. The Central Bank of Iraq organized a central celebration of the National Job Day by honoring a number of its creative employees with success stories that contributed to the development of work at the Central Bank of Iraq. His Excellency the Governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, Mr. Ali Mohsen Al-Alak, and the Honorable Representative Dr. Amar Hamid Khalif, honored the employees who won the National Job Award, which was organized within the bank and in the presence of a representative of the Prime Minister's office, presenting them with the award shield, praising their efforts and contributions that enhanced the efficiency of the work of their departments and sections, which was reflected in the work of the central bank. His Excellency urged all employees of the central bank to make their efforts to be present on the platforms of job success next year, pointing to the support and honoring of an important category of the bank's employees in the Issuance and Treasury Department next year. The chairman of the National Job Day Committee, Dr. Allah Jamal Abdul Redha, praised the efforts made to make the Job Day a success, indicating that today's celebration is an extension of the ongoing efforts to create a platform to recognize job excellence and dedication in the public sector. Tishwash. The Iraqi Council of Ministers approves a set of service, economic and urban decisions. The Council of Ministers, headed by Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, issued today, Tuesday, during the 45th regular session, a number of important decisions that fall within the government's efforts to improve services and strengthen the economy and infrastructure in Iraq. The Prime Minister's media office said in a statement received by Mawazin News that al-Sudani chaired the session, where the latest developments in the country were discussed and vital files that concern the priorities of the government program were discussed, in addition to considering the topics on the agenda and taking the necessary decisions regarding them. Decisions on the population census. As part of the Council's follow-up to the preparations for conducting the population census scheduled for November 20th, the Council approved a number of measures, the most important of which are: 1. Emphasizing commitment to Federal Court Decision No. 73, Federal, 2010, regarding the general population census. 2. Conducting the census in the disputed areas by a joint team from the 3 nationalities, Arab, Kurdish, Turkmen, with the addition of a Christian individual in areas with a Christian majority. 3. Cooperation between the Statistics Authority and the Kurdistan Regional Statistics Authority with the Federal Ministry of Interior to compare the data of the ministries with the census results. 4. Allocating the general census results to the Federal Planning Council and the Ministry of Planning in the Kurdistan region. 5. Commitment to organizing statistical tables on the numbers of deportees, arrivals and displaced persons. 6. Sending a technical team from the Kurdistan Regional Statistics Authority to the Census Operations Room. 7. Immediately start training enumerators in preparation for the census. Amending the Triennial Budget Law. The Council also approved a proposal to amend Article 12, 2nd, c, of the Triennial Budget Law No. 13 of 2023, to include several points related to compensating the Kurdistan Regional Government for the costs of oil production and transportation, as the costs of production and transportation will be calculated by an international technical advisory body. Developing the work of civil defense. In the framework of developing the work of civil defense, the Council approved allocating an amount of 25 billion dinars to the Ministry of Interior to establish 100 civil defense detachments in Baghdad and the governorates, and approved a direct contract with the Chinese company SANY to purchase 18 fire engines. Supporting the educational and health sectors. In the field of supporting education, the Council of Ministers approved increasing the acceptance rate of top students from institute graduates from 10% to 20% for admission to universities. It also approved the establishment of institutes for higher health professions in several governorates. Supporting the national industry. The Council approved providing a sovereign guarantee to establish a glass manufacturing plant in cooperation with lending banks, and also approved the inclusion of plastic granules in the customs fees decision. Administrative reform and appointing officials. Within the framework of administrative reform, the Council approved the appointment of 4 general managers based on performance evaluation criteria. The Council also chose Islam Hassan al-Saadi as the 6th member of the Board of Trustees of the Iraqi Media Network. Completing stalled projects. In the field of infrastructure, the Council approved the establishment of a component for equipping medical devices and supplies within the emergency hospital project in Rania and increasing the cost of projects to demolish irregular buildings and build alternative schools. Other decisions. The Council approved the draft law amending the 5th Amendment to the Civil Aviation Law, amending the price of gas oil for the National Paralympic Committee's wheels, and concluding lease contracts with the Independent High Electoral Commission. These decisions are an important step towards enhancing public services and supporting the economy and infrastructure, and confirm the government's commitment to achieving sustainable development in the country. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.